Good evening. The Giants extend their winning streak to 4 by crushing the Dbacks tonight 8-1. This is Giants Roundup. It is Thursday, August 2nd, and the Giants are 2-0 in the month of August, game 1 of a 4-game series. You can follow on Twitter, join the Crook and Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. And yes, Bumgarner wasn't his best tonight, but the Giants bats got it going tonight in the desert. And now they improve their record to 56 and 54 on the season. And now still are 5 games back in the division. See how they're doing as in terms of the wild card. And the Giants are did gain a half a game into the wild card. They are 4.5 back of the wild card. But the bats were alive. Hello, Azofer. You having a good evening tonight? The bats got going tonight, and looks like we finally have a bat sighting from Evan Longoria. And Longoria got the scoring going early in the first inning with a home run to make it 1-0 Giants. And then in the second, the D-backs would respond with the sacrifice by Escobar. Marte scores 1-1. And then Mad Bum providing his own offense in the 5th inning. It is Austin Slater is saved by the bell. It's 2-1. Then in the 7th inning, the Giants get going. A sacrifice by Hunter Pence. It scores Austin Slater 3-1 Giants. And then the bats were alive in the 8th inning as they put a crooked number on the Snakes in the 8th inning. Allen Hansen singles to right. It scores Buster Posey 4-1. Then Austin Slater with the dagger. Crawford scores. Hernandez scores. They all score. It's 7-1 Giants. And then Duggar singles to right. Slater scores, and that is your final score of 8-1. And definitely some bats going tonight. Bumgarner not as great as tonight. He only goes 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Zach Greinke 2 earned in 6 innings pitched, takes the loss, falls to 12-6. Bumgarner 4-4 on the season. And yeah, don't look now. Melanson has actually had a scoreless inning tonight. Ray Black, unhittable again, gets that ERA down to 2.79. I think Ray Black is here for the long term with that 100-mile-per-hour heater. And then Ty Block and garbage time, 2 scoreless innings. For Arizona, Diekman 1 unearned run, and it was Brad Ziegler. It was the bad Brad Ziegler that showed up tonight, who surrenders 4 earned in his inning pitched. TJ McFarland an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitch, and then Matt Andriese in mop up time. Nothing but zeros there. Austin Slater 2 for 3. It is time for Bruce Bochy to keep Austin Slater in the lineup at this point. And then Panic goes 0 for 2. Panic goes 0 for 2, then gets pulled in favor of Allen Hansen and Chase Darnaud. So we had 3 guys playing second base tonight. Hansen and Darnaud got in the game and played second. And Slater, he's getting better at first base. Longoria, you take the good and the bad with Longoria right now. He did go have that one hit, but he did commit his 13th error of the year. Not necessarily that great of news, getting 13 errors on the year. And then Gorkis is starting to get his bat going. 2 for 5 tonight. His bat is starting to heat up. Steven Duggar 1 for 3. Mad Bum 1 for 2. And the best stat for the D-backs, and I like this one, is Paul Goldschmidt. That's right, 0 for 4 tonight for Goldschmidt. And no, and they did walk him one time, but as long as Goldschmidt's giant killer Paul Goldschmidt stayed off the bases tonight for the most part. Curtel Marte 2 for 3 for the D-backs. David Peralta 4 for 5 for the Snakes. That was your offense for the Snakes tonight. Arizona falls to 60-50 on the year, and the dreaded Dodgers now have a 1-game lead in the NL West. And now Longoria with 11 home runs on the year. We did get some bad news today about Pablo Sandoval. He will not be back this season, as he is out. He's going to have hamstring surgery. So he will likely be moved to the 60-day DL at some time and point. And the problem is the Giants have no money to purchase a contract on the 60-day DL unless they trade somebody to clear it, or unless they say, fuck it with the CBT. But right now, they just don't have the money to purchase a contract right now, because they are literally one contract purchase away from going over the CBT at this time and point. But we shall see what the Giants do. But it looks like Kelby will be up for the rest of the year, and it's prove it time for Kelby at this point. Kelby will not have options next season. He will be out of options next season, so it is sink or swim with Kelby Tomlinson. We'll see what he does. It's his prove it time. Can he maintain his worth? But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll get Panda back, be ready for spring of 2019. Tough luck for Panda, and he was really starting to turn into that super utility guy. And that's just a bummer. He's played all the infield positions except catcher for the Giants, and he's not. It would have been kind of fun to see him in the outfield this year. So much for that. But I think the Giants are still going to have to maybe trade somebody like Dyson, literally just to free up money for expanded rosters. That's crazy parts. And the Giants are on a roll. It's like, you forget about the CBT at times, and that's the killer. Is that they're going to have to trade somebody to simply to call up a few people for expanded rosters next month. So we'll see what happens there. But the Giants, they've won 4 straight against Arizona, and tomorrow it will be, let's see who's tomorrow. But it looks like Bumgarner, it'll be Chris Stratton against Patrick Corbin. So Stratton comes back into the rotation with Johnny Cueto out for the year with Tommy John surgery. Our worst fear confirmed. He will miss all of the 2019 season with the Tommy John surgery. I wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the 2020 season. So that's going to set the Giants back. They're going to have to maybe go out in free agency and sign another starter. And ironically, a guy who's going to be a free agent next year is Patrick Corbin. And I think Corbin actually would be a better fit for the Giants than what's his name? Than Bryce Harper. I really don't want Bryce Harper. To me, Patrick Corbin would be a viable alternative to Bryce Harper at this point. And to me, Bryce Harper would be the magic bullet, as I've said before. We'll see if Samardzija gets. I wonder if we have any news on Samardzija. Okay, Samardzija has tossed a bullpen session. So if from what it seems like, don't expect Samardzija back until rosters expand in September. If that, if even if he can avoid surgery at this point. And then it looks like Hunter Strickland is going to start a bullpen session really soon. So realistically, I don't expect Hunter Strickland or Samardzija to be back with the Giants until rosters expand in September. Since we are reaching that point of the season where you can just but the question is at this point, who's going to get do they maybe start shopping a Dyson just to simply free up cash for expanded rosters? I don't expect a lot of call ups in September, but there will not be a lot of. There's not a lot of candidates to call. There may be maybe purchase the contract of Tyler Rogers. Of course, I think he should get a September call up. Ryder Jones will get a September call up. But even just to free up $100,000 to simply call up two players, that's where they're stuck. But it will be tomorrow, and we'll see how Chris Stratton does. It's going to be where the Giants are pretty much going to be stuck with Stratton. He hasn't been great as of late with that 5.14 ERA. I just hope Stratton can get us 5 good innings. That's all I ask out of Chris Stratton. Get that ERA down a skosh tomorrow. Just try to set the bullpen up with a decent outing. That's all I ask out of Stratton. This is pretty much what we're stuck with. It's either going to be Stratton or Block as your 5 for the rest of the year. Nobody in Sacramento is even close to a call up at this point. And thus, you're going to be looking for somebody like Patrick Corbin in free agency who's got 166 strikeouts and a 1.06 whip. I think Corbin could be a really good pitcher at AT&T Park this next season if Corbin decides to come play for the Giants. And realistically, the Giants can use another starter, maybe two. I don't know if Samardzija is ever going to be the pitcher he ever was again. We could, granted, he will be next year in his 4th out of the 5th year of his contract, then you're eating only $30 million after this year, or you could start talking a buyout for Jeff Samardzija next season. So that's. But yeah, I'd rather honestly have Giants go after Patrick Corbin over Bryce Harper, who I think is going to reject the Giants anyways. To be honest, nobody wants to see their bombs get neutralized at AT&T Park. Arizona's bats have been terrible as of right now. Arizona They were, and Arizona was starting to get hot before we played them. This was a really good win. Arizona is only hitting 235 on the season team batting average, 116 home runs. The humidor and pushing back the fences have really neutralized Chase Field. It is not the hitter's ballpark it used to be. So we shall see what happens there. But we do have some surprises in the race, and let's go to the MLB Roundup for tonight. Start off in Toronto, where the Blue Jays crushed the Mariners 7-3, taking the win. Mike Hauschild taking the loss. Juan Nicasio, who falls to 1-6 on the year, surrenders 2 earned and 2/3 of an inning pitched. And now, on top of that, the Mariners are at half a game back in the wild card. That's right, your crosstown neighbors, the Oakland A's, with the lowest payroll in baseball, are the second wild card as of right now in the AL. Oscar Hernandez goes 4 for 5 for the Blue Jays. Mitch Haniger goes 2 for 3 for the Mariners. Nelson Cruz hits 2 home runs, his 28th home run on the year. And Clippard, the opener today, Hauschild 6 strong. King Felix, not a bad outing. He just did not get any run support. The bullpen just let him down. And then James Pazos, 3 runs, 1 earned. In Tampa Bay today, the Rays beat the Angels 4-2, taking the win. Jalen Beeks taking the loss. Andrew Heaney, 4 earned in 6 innings pitched. Justin Upton, 2 for 3 for the Halos. And Hunter Wood was the opener today for the Rays. In St. Louis, the Cardinals help out the cause by beating the Rockies 3-2. Taking the win, Chasen Shreve. Taking the loss, Wade Davis, who surrenders 2 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Gerardo Parra, 3 for 4 for the Rockies today. And Antonio Sanzatelli has been really good since returning from the minors. 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched. Miles Mikolas was good also. 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched for the Redbirds. But Wade Davis, his 5th blown save on the year. And the south side of Chicago today, the White Sox beat the Royals 6-4. Taking the win, Xavier Cedeno. Taking the loss, Jason Adam. Adam, 3 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Cedeno, 2 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched for the Southsiders. In Philly tonight, the Phillies beat the Marlins 5-2, taking the win. Tommy Hunter taking the loss. Kyle Barraclough gets pounded for 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning pitched for the Fish tonight. Rhys Hoskins goes 2 for 3 for the Phillies. And Barraclough not having his 6th blown save of the year, and he's starting to fall apart as the closer role. So the closer monkey has not been the greatest in Miami as of right now. In D.C., the Nationals beat the Reds 10-4, taking the win. Max Scherzer, who strikes out 10 in 6 innings pitched. Getting pounded for 6 earned in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Tyler Mahle. And there are certainly days like this. Bryce Harper goes 2 for 3, gets that batting average up to 230. Harper with his 26th bomb of the year. And Raisel Iglesias, no bueno, senor. 3 earned and 1 inning pitch. Muy no bueno, no bueno. And then Jimmy Cordero, 2 earned and 1 inning pitched. In Queens today, the Braves beat the Mets 4-2, taking the win. Mike Fultonevitz. Taking the loss, Jason Vargas. Wilmer Flores goes 2 for 3. Ronald Acuna Jr. goes 2 for 3 for Atlanta. In Boston, it was definitely the Boston Tea Party today. The Red Sox crushed the Yankees 15-7. Taking the win is Brian Johnson. Taking the loss, Jonathan Holder, who surrenders not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 earned runs without recording an out. Mookie Betts 4 for 4. And Steve Pearce with the hat trick of home runs today. 3 for 5, all 3 home runs. Now he has 8 home runs on the year. JD just dingers Martinez 3 for 5. Ian Kinsler 3 for 6. And the bats were working in Boston today. Ed Gregorius hits 2 bombs today, his 20th of the year. Giancarlo Stanton, his 25th home run on the year. And Sabathia only goes 3 innings and allows 2 earned. And Luis Cessa comes in 5 earned in 3 2/3 innings pitched. Just one of those days as the Red Sox crush the Yankees in their rivals at Fenway Park tonight. In Arlington, another crusher of a night. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Baltimore Ravens tonight 17-8. Yeah, I'm kidding about that one. The Ravens did actually play tonight. Yeah, preseason football has started. And they did have the Hall of Fame game. And ironically, the Ravens did play tonight. And Lamar Jackson made his NFL preseason debut, and they won. But Texas beats Baltimore 17-8. Yvonne Gallardo gets the win. 5 earned and 5 1/3 innings pitched. Not a good day for Andrew Kashner, who gets pounded for 10 earned runs in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Tim Beckham goes 3 for 5. He was definitely hitting it like Beckham today. And for Texas, Elvis Andrus 3 for 6. Joey Gallo 3 for 5 for Texas. And his 27th home run on the year. And Eddie Butler gets the save in 3 2/3 innings pitched. And Kashner's ERA balloons to 5.05 after today's spanking. Jan Marinez, 2 earned and 1 inning pitched. Matt Castro, 2 earned, 2 innings pitched. Tanner Scott, 2 runs, 1 earned and 1 2/3 innings pitched. It got bad enough that Danny Valencia came in to get the final out for the Orioles mercifully, as they could be definitely on pace to lose 120 games this season in Baltimore. In Chicago, the Cubs lose to the Padres 6-1, taking the win. Robbie Erlin taking the loss. Jesse Chavez, 2 earned in 2/3 of an inning pitch for Chicago. Austin Hedges goes 3 for 4. Manuel Margot 3 for 5 for the Friars. And that snaps a 10-game losing streak by the Friars. That's right, it snapped a 10-game losing streak by the Friars tonight. And Rizzo was hit by a pitch. Mike Montgomery was good. Chavez wasn't. And the rest of the bullpen was just plain out dreadful for the Cubs tonight. And at the LA Coliseum tonight, the LA Rams beat the Green Bay Packers 21-5. Taking the win, Clayton Kershaw. Taking the loss, Yolis Chassin, who gets pounded for 8 earned runs in 4 and a third innings pitched. Christian Yelich goes 3 for 4, the only bright spot for the Brew Crew tonight. Kike Hernandez goes 2 for 3 for the Dodgers tonight. Justin Turner 1 for 2 in his return to LA. Yasiel Puig goes 3 for 5. Jock Peterson hits 2 home runs tonight, his 16th of the year. Brian Dozier hits his first home run as a Dodger. Puig with 2 bombs, his 14th home run of the year. And now the Dodgers are in first place. Matt Albers comes in, 3 earned for him. Taylor Williams, 4 earned and 2/3 of an inning pitch. Then the position players come in to pitch. Hernan Perez, 5 earned and 1 inning pitched. Then Eric Kratz comes in to pitch an inning. Scoreless. And now the Dodgers do have a 1-game lead over the Dbacks and Colorado 2 back. The Giants are 5 back in the NL West. And now that we are in postseason mode, let's take a look at the standings. Let's look at the standings pertaining to the wild card. If the season were to end today, the winner of Oakland and New York, that's right, the A's would be in as the second wild card as of tonight. If the season were to end, they would head to the Bronx to play the Yankees. Cleveland and Houston would play each other in the ALDS. Boston would play the winner of Oakland and New York. Seattle a half a game back. Tampa Bay gaining a little bit of ground. They're 7.5 back of the wild card at this point. So stranger things have happened. Now the Rays are starting to climb into the race some way, somehow. In the National League, the Cubs would face the winner of the Brewers and the Braves. Brewers are half game up as the first wild card. The Braves have a half a game lead over Arizona. They got knocked out of the wild card tonight. And Philadelphia would go to LA, or Philadelphia and LA would play each other in the NLDS. Colorado, a game and a half back of the wild card. Pittsburgh, 4 backs. St. Louis, 4 back. Washington, 4.5. The Giants, 4.5. And the rest are gone for all intents and purposes. Tonight, down on the farm, the Redbirds beat the Grizzlies 2-1 in Memphis. Mac Mayfield goes 2 for 4 for the Grizzlies. Boog Powell 2 for 5 for the Sounds. I didn't know Powell was now in the. I guess he went as part of the Piscotty trade over to St. Louis. Armentero's 5 scoreless innings tonight. Raymond Goudouin, an earned run and 1/3 of an inning pitch. Brendan McCurry, 4th blown save of the year. Just a tough loss for him. James Nally, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Liam Hendricks gets the win. I didn't know Liam Hendricks was in that. Oh, they're the A's organization. I'm thinking Memphis for some weird reason. Forgive me. Nashville's the A's organization. And the now Memphis, the Redbirds flank the Sounds that beat the Grizzlies, and the Redbirds blank the Sacramento Rivercats 4-0. And the Rivercats only get 3 hits tonight. And Tyler Herb, actually a really good outing out of Herb. His second start back from injury. 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Kurt, 2 earned runs in 1 inning pitched. Jake Woodford, 6 scoreless innings for the Redbirds. Tommy Lane gets the save. So Herb actually not too bad. We'll see if Tyler Herb can make an impressive run here through the month of August. I think if anybody is closest to MLB ready in Sacramento, it might be Tyler Herb. And I think he still needs another season because he was hurt for part of the season. So we'll see what happens with Tyler Herb down the stretch. And there will be no show tomorrow. We'll be back on Saturday. We'll be on after UFC and all that concludes. Everybody have a great Thursday night. We'll be back Saturday. Good night.